Zero Taste Guy and FPV Mason are wondering what software I use to build my website. Zero Taste Guy, you are correct that my domain registrar is GoDaddy, but that's not who my website's through. My website is through Kinsta Cloud Hosting, and the back end is WordPress. And then there's a custom WordPress theme, which has been heavily modified. The WordPress theme is Avada, I believe. Yeah. Avada Website Builder. Yeah, that's it. So it's Kinsta is the hosting provider, then WordPress is the sort of engine, and then Avada sits on top of WordPress, and all of it costs me an embarrassing amount of money every year, but I think it's a pretty good website. I got a rant. Ooh, can we pause the Q&A for a second? I'm going to rant for a second. Let me clear this question. I got a little rant. I always want to do this rant, and this is why I will never get sponsored by Squarespace. Okay? I had Squarespace. I built this website on Squarespace before I transitioned it off of Squarespace. And the reason I transitioned off of Squarespace, so Squarespace is supposed to be like really easy to build your website, right? You see those ads, and you see guys like me doing Squarespace ads. And they say, Squarespace makes it so easy to build your website, blah, 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 blah. And that's true. Squarespace does make it very easy to build a website. But I see guys like, for example, Linus Tech Tips, a channel I watch a lot. And they'll do a Squarespace ad and they'll say, in fact, the Linus website is built on Squarespace. And I'm like, I assume you're telling me the truth, but I don't know how that could possibly be true, because Squarespace doesn't have the ability, at least it didn't, and it didn't back when I was a customer, and I don't think it still does, but maybe it's changed. If it's changed, you could tell me in the comments and I'll pay attention. Squarespace doesn't have the ability to back up your website. So, like, they have a limited ability to, like, download assets. But, like, on Kinsta, I can go into my Kinsta control panel and I can press a button and it will image my website. It will snapshot my website and store it. And at any point, I can click another button and my website just goes back to exactly how it was at the time that I took that screenshot. That, to me, is an extremely basic function that any professional, like, I'm not talking about, mom and pop. Yeah, use Squarespace. But a professional company like Linus Tech Tips, or all these companies doing these promos for Squarespace, and they always say, we use Squarespace to build our website. And I'm like, you're telling me that if some bonehead deletes a page, it's gone. You have no way to get it back. Because Squarespace is like, oh yeah, we back up our websites. Yeah, they back it up, but if you F it up, they won't restore it for you. If they screw it up and they have a hard drive go down, they'll put it back. But you don't have the ability to say, Squarespace, can you roll my website back 3 days because I messed it up? Okay, number 2, Squarespace doesn't have the ability to limit permissions over who can edit the pages. They claim that they have role-based access, but that at least at the time that I was a customer, which was years ago, and maybe this has changed, but I don't think it has. At the time that I was a customer, that only applied to the blog posts. So you could have authors of blog posts and only certain people could post to certain blogs. But if someone had permission to edit any page on the site, then they could edit any page on the site. Seems like a thing that like a big company wouldn't be okay with. And number three, there was no ability to make edits in offline mode and then push those edits live. There was no staging site. All of the edits that you did were live. The moment you hit save, boom, they were pushed live. And there was no way to roll them back because they don't have the ability to snapshot and image the site. And I was like, as soon as my website got like even remotely complicated, I was like, this is unacceptable, and I left Squarespace. And this is why I will never do a Squarespace promo, because when people do Squarespace promos, they say, Squarespace is great. I use it for my website. And the whole time I'm doing the promo, I'll be like, that's fine for the first frickin' 3 months until your company gets popular. And then you actually have some employees and you actually start to scale up. And you can't. How do you make changes live with no staging site? Unacceptable. That's right, Slug. Never work on a live site, ever. Always do your work offline. You need ability to back up. You need role-based control so that one jackass can't just nuke your whole site. And I'm not doing a Squarespace promo, Mike Bergman. I'm doing the opposite of Squarespace promo. I'm giving you all the reasons that I don't use Squarespace, and I think that anybody who's doing a Squarespace promo and isn't raising these issues, I'm so triggered about every time I see a Squarespace promo, I want to shout at the screen. Okay. I mean, the flip side is it's not that expensive and it is easy to use. And for a small, simple site, it could be good. I mean, I pay over $1,000 a year for Kinsta, and that's just for Kinsta. So, okay. Okay, enough Squarespace rant. We're gonna get back to FPV questions. Danzilla the Terrible. It's just a meme. It's a meme, and I thought it was clever. Yeah.